Hello everybody, this is the second part of the lecture of error of refraction. I am Dr. Alaa Zawawi of the ophthalmology department, and I'll be explaining for you what is astigmatism, what is presbyopia, what is anisometropia. Astigmatism. What is astigmatism? Astigmatism is that state of refraction of the eye in which there is difference in the refraction in the different meridian. What is this? You have seen that the optical system of the eye is consisting of the cornea followed by the lens. Let us see the cornea. The cornea is the first surface that the light will be confronting. If the cornea is spherical, spherical that the curvature from up down is equal from here, like the ball, spherical. There will be one point focus on the retina. This is the issue of myopia, hypermetropia, and emmetropia. One point on the retina. So what is astigmatism? Mainly it is due to the cornea. What is happening in the cornea? The curvature in one meridian is different from the curvature in another meridian. And this is also genetic. We are born like that and we will die like that. Usually they are changing one diopter of astigmatism in the length of 70 years of our age. We are getting more against the rule during our age. And this is the main cause of astigmatism, that the cornea is not with the same curvature from up down or obliquely as we will see now. Parallel rays of light falling in the cornea will not focus in a point but in two lines actually, not a single line. We have two focal lines as we will see now in the lecture. The cornea will looks like the rugby ball. This is more steep here and less steep here, and the rays coming vertically speaking will be confronted with such curved cornea. It will be focused in one focal line, and the rays coming horizontally will be confronted with a less steep surface and will go and focus in another focal line. That each picture will be focused into two lines. What the patient will see, we will see now. This is the condition of the eye in which there is astigmatism. The horizontal rays are more focused early as if myopia, and the vertical rays are going behind the retina, hypermetropia. Allah, what the patient is seeing. We have so many conditions. These 2 points can be like that, astride the cornea, one in front and one behind. This is called mixed astigmatism, and this is the best issue. Patients are seeing with what we call circle of least confusion. They may be seeing 612, 618, not so bad. But these two rays, these 2 points or 2 lines can be in front of the retina if this eye is longer than usual. This is compound myopic. Can be one over the retina, one in front. This is simple myopic. It can be mixed as we have seen here. Can be one on the retina, one behind the retina. This is simple hypermetropic. Both of them behind the retina. This is compound hypermetropic. We have seen so many types of astigmatism. Don't bother yourself. The main issue that they are not focused in one point, no, into two lines. And these two lines can be in front of the retina, one on the retina, one in front, one behind, one on the retina, one behind, both of them behind. This is the astigmatic eye, one in front and one behind. And the cause most common, 98-99% is corneal. Very rare to be lenticular. Lenticular means what? That the curvature of the lens in one meridian is different from the curvature of the lens in other meridian. This can only happen in subluxated lens. The lens not in its proper place. The torn ligaments and the lens getting to one side being more curved in one meridian than the other meridian. But mainly, 99% it is corneal. That the corneal curvature in one meridian is different from the other meridian. Why? For genetics, not acquired. Except pathologically, of course, in keratoconus. but I mean the usual astigmatism is genetically determined. We have two types, regular and irregular. What is the importance? Regular can be corrected with glasses. Irregular cannot be corrected. Very difficult to be corrected with glasses, and you have something issues. Irregular, it's pathological. Can be keratoconus or corneal opacity or scars. Regular is the genetic one that we have. It is either, it must be perpendicular and changing gradually. And this regular astigmatism can be with the rule or against the rule. With the rule meaning that the vertical meridian is more curved than the horizontal meridian. Against the rule is the vertical meridian less curved than the horizontal meridian. This is an important issue. Not an important issue because both of them are corrected with glasses. Also, it can be vertical like that. It can be oblique, meaning that the main axial length, it is not to be in vertical and horizontal. It can be at any degree. That's why in prescribing cylinder in astigmatic correction for glasses, we must define the axis of the cylinder that will correct this astigmatism. This is how we are demonstrating astigmatism, that in this meridian is coming on the retina, and this meridian is more myopic. This is called with the rule. Here is more, it is also myopic, -2. This is more myopic. Both meridian are in front of the retina. This is compound myopic. This is simple myopic. This is compound myopic. This is mixed. One meridian is behind the retina, another meridian is in front of the retina. And this is against the rule, meaning that this is more vertical is more hypermetrope than the horizontal, and this is more hypermetrope than the horizontal. This is compared to the more hypermetrope, meaning that less myope than the horizontal. These are the 5 types we spoke about: simple myopic astigmatism, simple hypermetropic astigmatism, mixed where one in front, one behind the retina, compound astigmatism, both in front of the retina, this is compound myopic, both lines behind the retina, compound hypermetropic. It can be vertical, can be oblique, and that's why in prescribing glasses for cylinder, we must define the axis of the cylinder in which this will act. Again, these are the 5 types of simple myopia, compound myopia, and mixed, simple hypermetropia, compound hypermetropia, and mixed. These are 5 types of the astigmatism. What are the symptoms? What the patient will feel? The far vision is not perfect. Everything has a shadow behind it. خيال جنب الحاجة. Very little shadow. It can be large shadow, of course, according to the degree. And because of this, there is no focusing, and there will be athenopia, there will be headache. As you have seen in symptoms of myopia, no headache, only not seeing far clearly. In hypermetropia, headache. In astigmatism, headache. You are seeing the difference? Signs. The patients can see the letters in one direction, yani the letters of the E letters or the C letters. If they are horizontal, he can see it, but if they are vertical, he cannot see it, because he is seeing in one meridian better than the other meridian. You can estimate that this patient having astigmatism. You can inspect the cornea like in keratoconus, and to define keratoconus or nebula can be by clinical examination. Placido disc, we will see now what is placido disc. This is a disc that can be held handheld, and there is rings like that. This will be imprinted on, or reflected from the surface of the cornea. If the cornea is spherical, you will find the reflections like circles. If the cornea is oblong, you will find that like the rugby ball, like the egg, something oblong like that. This is a placido disc. And the astigmatic fan, here you will find that not all, if he doesn't have astigmatism, all these will appear at the same focus. But if he has astigmatism, one meridian will be focused than the perpendicular meridian. This will be less focused than this, and if you have something what we call astigmatic fan, it will be shown in here. Keratometer is the instrument used to measure the power of the cornea. It can be measured. To start with, at the beginning of the first section, we spoke about the power of the cornea being 42 diopters. There is instruments measuring this power, and you can see that the power in one meridian 42, in the other meridian 43, meaning that what? There is astigmatism of 1 diopter. There is difference between here and there, and this is the issue of astigmatism and how it is corrected. Retinoscopy is measuring what we call the total astigmatism, because refraction consists of not only the cornea but also the lens till the retina. This is what we call retinoscopy, to measure the power of the eye totally. What is the difference from keratometry? Kerato means cornea, meaning the power of the cornea only, which is 42 diopters. But retinoscopy is measuring the cornea, the lens, up till the retina. Corneal topography is a topography of the corneal surface, and it shows how astigmatism is seen. This is what we call corneal topography. We are seeing what we call regular bow ties, meaning that the vertical meridian is more spherical than the horizontal in both eyes, and this is irregular astigmatism that can be corrected with glasses. How to treat? With cylindrical lenses. What are cylindrical lenses? Cylindrical lenses meaning that the lenses having power in one meridian and no power in the other meridian. Like a cylinder, like what I am doing. If rays are coming like that, they will be confronted with a convex surface. They will be convergent. The same rays coming vertically will be confronted with a flat surface. They will pass without any effect. These are the cylindrical lenses, having a power in one meridian and no power in the other meridian. In which meridian they have the power? In the meridian perpendicular to its axis. What is the axis of a cylinder? Consider my hand as a cylinder. The axis is here, that this will rotate around this axis. And what is the effect? Rays coming parallel to the axis have no effect, they will pass the same. But rays coming perpendicular to the axis, they will be confronted with a surface which is convex. It can be concave. It will be converted or diverted. Yani, cylindrical lenses are acting over the rays perpendicular to its axis. This is the rule in correcting astigmatism. Not so important, but just to understand how we are prescribing glasses. Here we have one meridian over the retina and another meridian in front of the retina. How here the cylinder will be -2 cylinder in which axis? Axis 180, because we have seen that it will act perpendicular to its axis. This will be the cylindrical correction of this simple. What's about the sphere? It will be 0 sphere, because this is 0. Let's take another example. This meridian is -2, this meridian is -4. This sphere will be, the glasses will be -2 sphere plus -2 cylinder. Which axis? 90. Why? Because you want it to work here. In order to work here, you will put the axis vertical. It acts perpendicular to its axis. The same here, just think about it in your home. Let's make just think about it, you will find it easily if you want to understand very well how we are prescribing these glasses. Contact lenses can be used also for astigmatism. How? But what we call toric contact lenses. How they act? We know that contact lenses are moving. They are floating over the tear film. They are rotating. Here you have to have contact lenses with what we call prism ballast, which is heavier down, in order that it will move and the axis will be determined by this heavier portion. Then we have what we call toric contact lens. Surgical treatment can be with what we call astigmatic keratotomy. If you do incision over the steep axis, it will correct astigmatism. It can be by laser Also, LASIK can correct astigmatism very well up to 4 diopter, 5 diopters maybe. LASIK is one of the things correcting astigmatism very well. This how, by inducing incision over the steep meridian, you are correcting astigmatism, and this is the excimer laser in the form of the baseball to correct astigmatism. Treatment of irregular astigmatism is the treatment of the cause. You can try glasses, sometimes it's very difficult, and hard contact lens can play a role here, and penetrating keratoplasty or other types of keratoplasty, yeah, you have to treat the cause. What is presbyopia? By definition, presbyopia is a recession of the near point further away from me to become beyond the comfortable distance for reading or seeing the near objects. Why does this happen? Because the lens is getting older with age. The lens inside our eye is getting more sclerotic, more hard, incapable of doing accommodation. We have seen in young age that this lens can be spherical like that. It can be 14 diopters of accommodation. This, by the age of 20, maybe 7, 8 diopter. By the age of 70, 0. Yani, with age, the lens cannot do this accommodation. And because of this, by around 40, you have to hold things further away. And that's why this is condition of presbyopia. Physiological recession of the near point by age to become beyond the comfortable distance. This is the definition. And the cause is decreased elasticity of the lens. It is not due to weakness of the ciliary body. This is important, yes. Why? Because of the treatment in the new lenses and the new innovations in order to try to use this ciliary body for accommodating lenses maybe in the near future. The decrease in the elasticity of the lens, this is the issue or the cause of the presbyopia, and causing a decrease in amplitude of accommodation being 0, starting maybe from 60 or 70, it is 0. The symptoms, an emmetrope start to complain by the age of 40 up to 45. He has to hold things further away. A hypermetrope, as we have seen, he must do some accommodation maybe by your age, by the 20 or younger, and that's why he will experience early presbyopia from 35, 36, earlier than the usual age. A myope starts later, maybe he will not be presbyope anyway. If he is myope -3, he will get his glasses off and he can read without glasses. Longer reading distance is required, a need for excessive illumination in order that the pupil will be smaller and he will be better vision. At one time, an older patient cannot do the near work without his reading glasses. How to correct? By plus glass. How? You have to measure the amplitude of accommodation, keeping 1/3 in reserve and correcting the 2/3. Being practical, by the age of 40 we are adding +1 diopter, 45 we are adding +1.5 diopter, by the age of 50 adding +2 diopter, 55 adding 2.5 diopter, and this is mainly the issue of the presbyopia correction. What is anisometropia? Anisometropia in the condition of refraction of the eye in which there is considerable difference between both eyes, more usually than 4 diopters. Right. What is the issue? The issue is that we have seen that the minus lenses are inducing minification. The plus lenses are causing magnification. If you have a difference of more diopters between the right eye and the left eye, the size of the image in one eye will be different from the size of the image on the other eye. The brain cannot accept this, what we call anisoconia, difference in the size of the image between right and left. The brain can accommodate to have a difference till 7% difference between both. More than that, there will be difficulty. What is the issue? If this is happening in young age, of course, there may be what we call amblyopia, that the brain will depend on one eye and it will neglect the other eye. Neglecting the other eye during the period of flux from 0 to 5 years of age will end by amblyopia, which is untreatable after that. It can be treated in young age with certain degree of success by the occlusion of the sound eye to train the other eye, but after 5 years, maybe 8 years, you cannot treat this amblyopia, كسل العين. The complaint is athenopia, alternating vision, maybe one eye will see far and one eye will see near, and amblyopia ex-anopsia. Ex-anopsia, that's not seeing. Anopsia meaning that one eye is seeing and not the other eye is not seeing. Actually, hypermetropia is more amblyogenic than myopia. A myopic patient has certain distance to look at and he will be seeing, and that's why it is not happening in high myopia early. But a hypermetrope, without accommodation, the rays are coming behind the retina. Without accommodation, he doesn't have a way to see with this eye. And the child with a metropic eye here, hypermetropic eye plus 4 plus 5, he doesn't use this eye and he will get easily into amblyopia. Treatment, not by glasses, can be by contact lens. Why? Contact lenses do not minify or magnify because they are over the cornea. The glasses are minifying and magnifying because of the distance in between the eye and the air between the glasses and the eye. That's why we are using contact lenses here, and maybe there is a small indication for excimer laser or LASIK before the age of 18 in such unilateral myopia or unilateral hypermetropia. Although there is a debate about that. Some people are accepting, some people, and in medicine, you know, there is some debates in some issues. Here the refractive surgery in children in one eye, of course, not in both eyes. In both eyes it is criminal before the stability by the age of 18. Criminal. But it is an exception if you want to treat myopia in one eye in order to get it close to this eye in order to get amblyopia. There is some reviews and some researches about that and some established facts about that. Thank you very much. This will be the end of both lectures of the areas of refraction, myopia, hypermetropia, astigmatism, and the condition of presbyopia and the condition of anisometropia. Thank you very much.